What's up, sports bettors? I have 3 picks in my parlay. Okay, I have 3 picks. 2 are NBA props for tonight, and then I also have an NFL pick. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. And again, on Underdog Fantasy, what you're going to notice is this platform is so fascinating to me. I mean, it's really fascinating because what you're going to see is any 3-leg parlay you create, you're betting 1 to win 6. Doesn't matter if you take overs, unders, if you switch around players, you're always betting $1 to win $6 for a 3-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy. So basically, any 3-leg parlay is at minus 122 implied juice. If you were to parlay 3 bets from a sportsbook, all at minus 122 odds, your parlay would be betting $1 to win 6. So because Underdog Fantasy gives you every single 3-leg parlay is $1 to win 6 or 10 to win 60, 20 to win 120, etc., you're basically getting minus 122 juice on any player props you select. So basically, when you're looking at OddsJam, when you're looking for value, you should assume that in a 3-pick entry, you're getting minus 122 implied odds. So, for example, the first pick I ended up going with that's ridiculously profitable is Valanciunas over 10.5 rebounds. So the market's moving around, lineups are always changing, and I was able to get this. Again, I took it on Underdog. You could have taken it on Prize Picks as well. It would have been great in the 5-pick flex at minus 119 implied odds, but I took it on Underdog Fantasy at minus 122. So we need 3 picks, right? For 3-pick and 5-pick entries, you're getting minus 122 on Underdog. So you almost always want that, right? You don't want to play that many 2-pick entries because you're getting worse implied odds. So long story short, on Underdog Fantasy, we always want to be playing 3-pick or 5-pick entries, which is exactly what you'll notice, right? When I'm playing on Underdog, what you're almost always going to see is 3-pick entries, as you can see right here. And if you look at the results as well, it's basically all 3-pick entries. So I'm wagering my own money on these. This one's a banger, so I really like it. And you can see Valanciunas, we're taking over 10.5 rebounds at minus 122. Implied odds. Caesars has this minus 199. They almost have this as a 2-to-1 favorite, and we're getting it at minus 122 implied odds. DraftKings has this minus 160. Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sports book, it's the most efficient betting market. Pinnacle is known to be the sharpest bookmaker in the world. They're pricing this line at minus 170. So we have 1, 2, 3. All of these sports books are just data points telling us, hey, here's where we think the line should be set. And considering we have, 1 sports book, 2 sports books, 3 sports books, all telling us the over should be a heavy favorite, we have really high confidence that this is a great bet to include in our Underdog entry. Right? As a sharp bettor, we're always looking for value. You're always looking for edges, as they're called. You're like a savvy investor. Out of the millions of odds on Underdog Fantasy and all these sports books, like you can see right here, there's probably, at least a few thousand odds on Underdog Fantasy alone, things you can bet on, right? Even for this one player, Jordan Clarkson, you have, you could take his over or unders for all these different things. There's like 20 things you could bet on for Jordan Clarkson. Rebounds plus points, rebounds, assists, 3-pointers, all this different stuff. So what OddsJam does is it just takes all this data and points out those few betting opportunities that actually have an edge, that actually are profitable. So like Valanciunas, over 10.5 rebounds is ridiculous. We're getting that at minus 122 when all the sports books have this minus 160 to minus 199. So we're getting a ton of value. We're beating the market, we're beating the VIG, and we have a sharp, profitable play. So the next bet I ended up going with is right here. So Mac Jones, where are you, baby? Mac Jones. I took his passing yards line, so I love using, this is called the screen on OddsJam. I love using this because what it does is it allows me to, for a specific market, so here we're looking at passing yards, to scan every single player with the sportsbook side by side. So we can see for Sunday, sportsbooks haven't released player prop odds yet, but Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy, and Monkey Knife Fight all have. And what you're going to notice for Mac Jones right here is Underdog Fantasy has his passing yards line at 194.5. Prize Picks has his line at, so let's go here, and then let's go to Mac Jones. So Mac Jones is 205.5 on Prize Picks. You can see right here that it's 194.5, so significantly lower on Underdog Fantasy. And then the final one was, where is it? Monkey Knife Fight, so another fantasy site we just added into OddsJam, has his passing yards line at 219.5. Right? So that's significantly higher than what we're seeing on Underdog Fantasy. So basically we have Prize Picks and Monkey Knife Fight setting Mac Jones's, passing yards line at 205.5 and 219.5. We can go back to it, whatever it was, but significantly higher. So it seems like being able to get the over-under for Mac Jones at 194.5, we want to be slamming the over, right? And the reason that's the case is we have two sports books. So we have two other data points, Prize Picks telling us the line should be 11 yards higher, and then, Monkey Knife Fight telling us the line should be like 25 yards higher. So Mac Jones over 194.5 seems like a great value bet on Underdog Fantasy, and we're just using real-time market data to find these discrepancies, right? As a sharp sports bettor, it's all about where are other sports books setting the line. Okay, so now I have one data point. Underdog has their line at 194.5. Prize Picks is at 205.5. Monkey Knife Fight's at 219.5. So all that tells me is, yeah, there's some massive discrepancies for Mac Jones early in the week. And it seems like on Underdog, we want to be on the over, considering two sportsbooks have his passing yards line significantly higher. So basically, you want to use every bookmaker kind of as an independent data point of where the line should be set and look for value. If you want to play on Thursday Night Football, Mills over 212.5 seems pretty good, considering all the sportsbooks have it at 219.5, right? So anyways, 2 picks down, just using data to zone in on sharp bets, right? And Mac Jones would have cashed 3 out of 5 times, it looks like, this season. So the final play I ended up going with, so we have Valanciunas, is Simons over 3.5 made threes. Once again, all the sports books have the over heavily favored. So we have, all these data points telling us, hey, Simons over 3.5 threes should be priced at, minus 138 to minus 149. We're getting it minus 122 implied odds on Underdog. Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world, is 25 cents worse at minus 147. So yeah, seems like we're getting enough value on Underdog to beat the VIG. 1% profit margin, so it's not as good as this Valanciunas prop, but hey, still really sharp, very profitable. So I locked in all 3 of these picks. Over, over, over. Let's make money, guys.